Bye-bye, Eli.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Daddy.
Bye-bye. I'll see you later. Bye, babe. Well, hello everyone. This is probably first week of the build, and be headed over there in a second. Just want to walk around the neighborhood and talk about, like, why Vietnam? Out of all the countries, like, why did I choose coming here to, I guess you would say, retire, even though I feel like I'm very young. Like I said, I'm 58 years old. I'll be 59 in, I don't know, 4 more months. As you can see over here, they're doing a big project. This is their concrete pump. So the big truck comes with the skylift and pumps up the concrete over and onto the job. I know in America they would have concrete pumps that pump it by a big hose, but here they use these big cranes and it pumps the concrete down. And I tell you, they even do this in the rain. You know, if it's raining, they're still pouring. I don't know how they do it, but they know how to do it. There they are, pouring the... This is a pretty big... This is going to be a big, big house. So, there it is, blowing the concrete out. These guys know what they're doing. That's for sure. So why Vietnam? Well, you know, these last couple of years, I lost my stepdad 2 years ago, and I lost my mom last year. So you can see there's pickleball, very serious here, pickleball. They put some bleachers in. They even have like a big, you can see the sign. They're having a tournament this weekend. See if I get this camera right. Yeah, see they're having a tournament this weekend. So they come out here at night after the sun goes down, start whacking away. So yeah, I lost my mom last year. And it was just... Oh, here's security guy. Everybody's so relaxed here, secure. Xin chào anh. So friendly, so nice. I have a little white doggy here. So yeah, I watched my stepfather pass away. And I don't know if anybody's experienced watching someone slowly pass away, and it was just tough, you know. And I was in Vietnam when my mom kept calling me and telling me, you know, hey, the doctor said your stepdad has about 30 more days. And at that time, I was in Vietnam for like 3 years. I did early retirement, and I stayed here for 3 years, but I'll get back to that later. And so that was right around COVID, 2020. And I was telling my wife that, you know, I need to go, right? I need to go and say my goodbyes. Because he was a good man. I mean, a really good man. I've never seen him angry, never seen him upset. Always nice, always friendly. You know, I considered him my real dad. I spent a lot of time with him. And just a really good man. So I flew back from Vietnam. And at that time it was really hard because COVID was happening. And once I left, I had no idea when I'd be able to come back because the country was closed. Ah, chào anh. Làm tốt lắm. You know, so I had to leave my child and my wife. And I didn't even know when I'd be able to come back because the country was closed. And my child, Eli was 3 months old. And I would tell you, that was like the hardest day of my life. It was tough, not knowing when I'm coming back. You know, and at that time, my visa was up, so I had to leave the country. So I had to leave. So, yeah, it was the hardest day of my life. But I came back to America after 3 years. You know, I was in shock. I went to San Diego. My dad and my mom lived in San Diego. And so it was a shock coming back because as soon as I got when I got there, I got an Uber to my mom's house. And for one, it was $90. I was like, what? Jesus. So when I got to my mom's door, she opened the door. And I knew my mom, because when I was talking to her on the phone when I was over here, she was always forgetting things, you know, like what she did earlier that day. But I knew something was off. And when she opened the door, I was in shock because she lost at least 30 pounds, very skinny. And so, yeah, I went back, saw my mom. She wasn't feeling, you know, she had this, what I realized was dementia. But my dad was 94, and he was still, his mind was there. He was still in good shape. See, here's the river. There's the famous fire-breathing dragon bridge over there. Breathes fire every Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night at 9 p.m. I'm a local, so I stay away from that area at that time. But, you know, it's a nice river. And this area, we have our own little river walk here, as you can see. It's private. It's just for us in the community. So it's really nice. So, I was there visiting my dad every day for the first 30 days. And, you know, we knew he was passing away, and I just couldn't believe nobody came to see him. No one came. And I was shocked because he was such a good person. He was such a good person. And, you know, then I realized how people really are. And getting older, you know, you become irrelevant. So that's when I was making a decision, because in Vietnam, when you're older, it's different. They take care of you. You're irrelevant still. They don't look at you like, oh, there's this old person. You know, it's like they really respect the elders here. Really respect the elders here. You know, and that's what attracted me here. As you can see, this house on the river here. Pretty big, huh? So, like I said, here in Vietnam, when you're older, you know, they take care of you really well. There's no problems, because when I go back to America, you know, I'm back in this little shell. Like, I just stay home. You know, I do go to work or do some business, and as soon as I'm done, I come home and stay there. And it's just, I see people in America when they get old, like, life is just, it's sort of really dead. You're just sitting at home. No one's coming over. Someone might come over every once a week. You just sit there and watch TV. You know, and another thing, financially, you know, it's hard to live there when you're not working anymore and retired. You know. I mean, just the way it is there. Everything's just so expensive. You can't even go out to dinner. It's, you know, even McDonald's is $20 now for a combo. Unbelievable. And then, you know, there's tax on everything there. You know, they just don't treat the elderly well. I'll tell you that. But here, it's different. You know, they treat the elderly very well, respected, help you, you know, and I know when I get older, I know I'm going to be taken care of. You know, I have a great wife that I know will take care of me no matter what. You know, I have no issues with that. That's just the culture here. You know, it really will take care of you. But I also remember the first time I came to Vietnam back in 2015. I came into Saigon. It's the first time, and I was in shock. I was like a deer in the headlights. I mean, everything was different. All the thousands of motorbikes on the sidewalks, on the streets. I mean, it must have been rush hour traffic when I got there, but it was just insane the first time I came here. You know, you have that thinking of America, and then you get here and everything is different. Everything is different. And, I want to show you this car. I don't think they'll get mad at me. No one really gets mad here. But, I'm telling you. The money here is insane. Look at this car. Pretty nice Porsche, huh? Jeez. It's a Targa. I'm not really into cars, but that one is nice. Man. Really. Man. Thing is, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but this thing is just incredible. Man, look at that thing. There's got water in the lawn. Alright, so where was I? Yeah, when I came back to Saigon, and everything was just, like I said, I was in shock. And but then after that, I was here for about 30 days. I was out in the province for a while, went to Saigon, came here to Da Nang for a while, and then I went back home, United States. And so at that time I wasn't thinking nothing about like staying here or anything, but I just seen the way that everything was, you know, how the elderly wasn't forgotten here. That they were, you know, respected and not forgotten, still irrelevant, and very well taken care of. On the other side, in America, it's the opposite. You know, you forget about you and just sit there and watch TV. watch the crazy news or whatever you want to watch. Every day is the same. You know, every day is the same over there when you're older. You know, and they also, I never understood, they treat you like kids. You know, it's like, man, when my mom was in the home there at the end, hospice, I mean, they treat them like they're babies. You know? You know, so, but my mom had dementia. And it was really bad. I was staying with her for a while. And it was just, things happened that I cannot, you know, I cannot tell you. They're just so weird. Like, she would knock on my door 5 minutes, come in, and say she wants to talk to me, sit down. Then she would get up, leave. 1 minute later, start knocking on my door, say she wants to talk, and get up. This would go on 10 times a night. You know, and I understand it's not her fault. But this disease, dementia, is just, if you experience, you understand. But if you haven't, be prepared. It's not their fault. You know, just think about it. If you're older, you're at home and there's people coming in your house, you don't know who they are, even though they're your family. You don't understand what's going on, why these people in my house are telling me to do this or telling me to do that. And man, it was just terrible watching my mother and father, what they had to go through at the end. It's just, but, you know, it's something, it's just part of life, too. You know, I'm glad I was able to experience that with my mom and my dad. And the best thing is that, you know, when they're getting older, you know, they're not going to be getting better when they're older. You know, it's like they're on the downhill swing. So, what's going on here? That's a security man. Ciao, Ann. How you doing? Ben Quay, come. What?
Welcome.
I know him too. Ciao, Ann.
Hello.
Hello, how you been? À.
Quả này
Yeah,
ngâm rượu.
Yep.
Rượu uống.
They're picking some fruit. Tạm biệt. Like I said, back, you know, going through my dad, stepdad, and my mom, I was there every day for them. I went to there, I watched them pass away. And after they're gone, they're gone. That's it. They are gone. And so the best thing is to be there for them. I mean, my stepdad and my mother, they know that I loved them before they left. Uh-oh. Had a little accident here. He's okay, just fell over because of the weight. You know, my mom and dad, I was there for them every day. And they knew that I loved them. And that, you know, after they pass on, you know, you're okay with that you were there for them. But if I wasn't there for them and they passed away, you know, I would have to deal with that for the rest of my life. And that would be tough. Because my mom was a good person. She was my best friend. So was my stepfather. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I want to spend the rest of my life here in Vietnam. And we're back here at the job site. This is where we do put the material. It's an empty lot. So we, you know, a lot of material comes. They set up. He's working over there and bending some rebar. He's doing some woodwork. And so yeah, if you have an elderly mother, elderly father, even though, You know, they're driving you crazy. You know, you can't understand what's going on because what they're doing. Just be patient and be nice. You know, and because when they go, you'll have that to hang on to, that you were good to them. So that's my advice. Here we are at the job site. As you can see, this rebar is all in. Now they're putting the forms up. But look at 3-bedroom house. Look at this rebar work. It looks like it's going to be a giant commercial building. They do not mess around here in Vietnam. Everything is built solid. Trust me, I've been here for a long time. They know what they're doing. Look at that. And they're putting these forms in because they're going to pour the concrete probably in the next 3 or 4 days. Ciao, G. So right here, we're going to do a septic tank. So they're going to have to pour that with septic tank. So everything is on septic here. Everything is on septic here. So yeah. And then they'll put the plumber's going to come here soon. And we'll put the piping in for that and the septic. But I'm surprised at all this rebar. Whenever they say, oh, Vietnam, they don't build things properly, blah, blah, blah. Well, yes, I'm here, I'm looking. They do build things properly here. Way stronger than what I'm used to. Let's see if I can cross this beam. Yeah, no problem. Everything's done with grinders here. So yeah, this is the week 1 finishing up all this rebar. I'm really excited about this house. It's sort of like, I'm very, oh, here we go. Ciao.
Hello.
Hello. You know, I know I'm very fortunate to be able to do this. Very fortunate to be able to retire here. It's funny, retire. I feel like I'm 20 years old, you know? It's funny when you get older. When you start coming to grips that, hey, I guess I am older. You know, life has become easier. Even though we don't like getting older, I mean, for me, the life has just become easier, simpler. You know, when you get older, you're like, you start thinking like, is this really worth, you know, the problems I might have doing this? Is it really worth it? You know, you start weighing it out. When I was younger, it was like, no, forget it. Yeah, just more problems, the better. And now if stuff gives me problems, you know, I just don't do it. Or if something is a problem in your life, you stop doing it. You don't continue. So as you get older, yeah, it sucks getting older, but life gets easier. So yeah. This is week 1. They painted the fence. They put a fence on the job site here. These guys work. Guys and gals, they work. Every day they're here working. From sun up to sundown. You know? I don't get any calls. Like in America, I used to build homes too, and it was just, oh, I can't make it this week. When I finish this one job, I'll be over there. Or, you know, excuse after excuse. But here, no excuses. They're here every day working. You know. And I'm very fortunate and lucky. Let me tell you, I listen to horror stories. People live in the Philippines trying to buy houses or buy land or build. Oh my God. They're saying just to get the paperwork, it takes like a year. You know, just to get the paperwork of the house that you buy or the land. You know, and just all the problems that they have. Just the time. But here, everything is fast, simple, and easy. Check out this car, man. I mean, it's a Kia. That thing is, it's like a jet black or matte black Kia. Oh, here's my friend. Another thing, he always treat people good. Ciao, Jay. Bang Quay come. Bang Quay come. Bang Quay come. It's my friend. Oh. Hello. Dan Dan Nhi. Nắm.
Ngọc.
Nào.
Ngọc.
Ah. I'm Brian. Tired? Mệt? Nóng quá? I know. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off with me here. Oh, she got a little fan. Look at her fan. Smart. Man, I can't get this camera to work right. How do you do it? It's on some kind of face recognition. I don't know. There we go. I need one of those fans. You like that camera? She works hard. Okay. All right, we'll see you later, guys. That'll be it. See you on the next one.